Hello, I'm back and I'm going to show you how to paint a nice easy tiger design. I would paint it on my children, but they're off busy playing somewhere, and like most face painters' children, they hate being painted anymore. So I shall paint myself, but it really is super easy, nice and quick, and everybody loves a tiger. You won't need any fancy supplies. You don't have to go to a professional face painting shop. You can just use a dedicated face paint such as Snazzaroo, which you can buy in City Cycles and I think in Tyndall's as well. Must say, only ever paint faces with face paint. Acrylic paint, poster paint, it is not designed for faces. It can stain, it can cause all sorts of reactions, so please only use face paint. Right, so I will show you what you need. Sponges, now mine are black, but actually a baby sponge cut into 4 is perfect for this design. So you can get those in Tesco's. You will need orange and yellow face paint. If you don't have orange, you can use red. Just mix it on the sponge or just do a red and orange tiger. And also white and black. I use a professional black face paint, but again, it's more about the consistency that you will mix up, so Snazzaroo is fine. You'll also need 2 brushes. This is a size 6 round and a size 4 round. If you've only got a size 4 or a medium round brush, that is absolutely fine too. And I always use a spritzer, a water spritzer bottle. You've probably got one lying around somewhere, just make sure it's got clean water in it. If you don't have one, you can just dip the edge of your sponge into water, squeeze out the excess and mix up your paint that way. Right, so I'm going to start with the muzzle and the white parts. So I always spray my paint and the sponge a little bit. Let's take my glasses off. So just work up your paint. You don't want too much paint on the sponge because you'll find it will just dribble everywhere. And I always start with the eyes first. So you're just going to make sort of like a strange Y shape. Just dab it on nice and gentle. You don't want to scrape it over anybody's eyes. You can bring it down the nose. And this is the muzzle area where the whiskers are, so this is quite important. You want a nice round muzzle shape. Just going to check that in my mirror. It's a lot easier doing this on someone else. So there you go. So the next stage is to do the orange and the yellow. We're going to do the orange first and go around the outside. Just bring it down the temple and under the cheekbone. And try not to get it on the muzzle. So you can turn your sponge. Mine are cut into 4, so I have a nice straight edge on them, which is handy for doing the edge of the tiger face. There we go. Now if you didn't have yellow and you only had orange, you could bring this orange all the way down and blend it into the whites, which would be fine. So now I'm going to use the yellow and blend all of it together. Just work your paint like that, super easy. So we're going to bring it up into the orange and down into the white like that. It's a little strange painting into my phone. I normally use a mirror. Again, I'm going to check that. Happy with that. So there you can see, you just blend it in while the paint is still wet. So there we go. It'll look like a candy corn. So the last stage is nice and easy. Or the last two stages. Take a number 4 brush and just work up your black paint you can see. So it's a little bit inky, so it will flow nicely. Okay. So we're going to paint the muzzle and the nose, which is super easy. So just flick and a curve. Flick and a curve. Nose. I have to get a mirror for this. So just 2 lines. There we go. So you don't want a round nose for a tiger, it's a bit like a cat. And I will need to use a mirror. Going to draw just a straight line down there. And join it up with the nose. There you go. So that's the nose part done. We'll come back to the lip in the at the end. So now we're going to do the stripes, which really make a tiger. And this is the fun bit. Okay, so again, you want nice inky paint. And when you use a round brush, can you see? Oh, there we go, against my face. You want something that will come to a nice point. And I will show you here. What you're going to do is paint a thin and then thick and then thin line to make your tiger stripe. So you start here, thin, push your brush down, wiggle if you want, thick, lift it back up, thin. Right. So I'm going to start with the eyebrows. Thin, thick, wiggle, 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 lift it back up. And again. see my face? In, down, press down, wiggle, 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 lift it back up. We look like Ming the Merciless now. Okay, so just to frame the eye, we're going to come down the other side. Thin, thick, thin, look it in. And again. Thin, thick, wiggle, wiggle, flick. There you go. I'm going to do some in the middle and some across the cheeks, and we're nearly finished. Flick. Down. Flick. So the cheeks, we're going to just bring them down and back up because you want to make sure all your tiger stripes point towards the middle of the face. You don't want any droopy tigers. Okay. So the last things to add, just to make it a bit special, are a few dots. That's literally just blob that paint on. Not too much though. How have we gone there? It doesn't have to be completely symmetrical. Because tigers aren't. Now if you've got a particularly wiggly child, you don't have to do them between the eyes. But if you're painting an older child, then that's fine. So the last thing I always do would be to paint the lips. Okay, and there is your finished tiger. You can add glitter, you could change the colours of your tiger base, so you could use a pink tiger, and my absolute favourite is obviously a rainbow tiger. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and you've got all the way to the end. I would love to see any photos of any goes that you've had, so if you've painted your kids or even your own face, please do share it with me and tag Rainbow Tiger face painting, and I will speak to you again soon.